Hi, my name is Phil Afonso. I am the owner and certified technician over at Clean Slate RV Repair. We are located in Carver, Massachusetts. We are sort of right in the middle of Boston and Cape Cod. If you are in the need of RV repair in the New England area, reach out. I think one of the great things about becoming an RV technician, it's really been about taking the time to work with people and explain to them the small details that matter. A lot of people, they spend tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on an RV, and they're sort of pushed along the sign the paperwork and see you later when they leave the dealership. Um, that's where I come into play. I will take my customer and walk them around their RV, top to bottom, front to back, inside and out, explain the details that matter. There were 4 customers this year that I was able to save their warranties on their RVs. They had no idea that for their warranty to stay valid, that they needed to have a proper roof inspection done every 12 months. And that to me was a real big indicator for uh, needing to, slow down the process that an RV technician will take and really get on a get to know you basis with my customers. You know, eh, there's so many moving pieces and parts. Every time an RV goes down the road, it's an earthquake. You take your house, throw a set of axles on it, and run it down the highway at 70 miles an hour, and that's what happens. Things loosen, things break, things start to break, and I love all of the relationships that I've built with my customers this far. It's really been nice to get a phone call or a text that somebody's in need. In most cases, even being able to mitigate a problem over the phone. For big repairs, absolutely, I'll come out and take care of you. But you know, being able to help somebody and just genuinely help them and not nickel and dime every, if you have a 12-volt issue, if you have something, you have a question, something simple. Um, you know, it's okay to do that for free and take the phone call, maintain that relationship. And, that way I enjoy being somebody's point of contact in this very confusing, uh, at times difficult world of RV ownership. That I think has really made me. It's been the most self rewarding. Really being able to slow things down a little bit and take people by the hand and just sort of go step by step by step on what they have and what they really need to do to maintain it. So it has a very long shelf life. Choosing an RVTAA certified technician like myself when you are in need, um, over picking a dealership or a service department, um, you know, we are able to have our vans and our trucks, all of the mobile services that we provide. They're usually always done on the same day. There is no, well, we didn't get to it this week, but we're sure going to try our hardest to get to it next week. Uh, you know, a lot of the customers that I deal with, they're paying a minimum of $200 an hour at a shop. And that's when they can get around to it. If they have a laundry list of, say, 5 to 10 things that they really want to have addressed and fixed, it is very, 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 very typical for a dealership to only do 2 of those things and say that, well, we didn't find a problem with those other things and just sort of brush it aside. Owning an RV, you're able to hear the things and feel the things and see the things, and having that communication with somebody, it sort of gets lost at the service counter. which is why when you hire somebody like myself or another certified RV technician, you're going to get that up close, one-on-one. You have my phone number. It goes directly to me. It does not go to press one. You're going to get my extension and somebody else will pick it. It's nope. You call me, I'm going to come take care of your problem. I'm usually going to do it on the same day that you call. Um, and I'm going to save you money and be less money than a dealership will cost you. So it's having a partner in this, somebody who is a point of contact and a great representation of somebody who should bring your blood pressure level down when you are not having hot water, not having heat, you have electrical issues. I have endured uh, hundreds, if not close to over 1,000 hours already of education, studying classes. It's a lot. I put my heart and soul into this business. I am fully committed to it, being around for a very long time, and it's being able to help. It's great that I'm able to have my own career, but being able to provide a service that's actually helping people in need, it's very rewarding, and it's I'm fully invested. I'm fully in, and when you call the number for my company, I'm going to be the one to call you back. I'm going to be the one to show up. And if there's any problems going down the road, I'm also going to take care of those also. At Clean Slate RV Repair, what we specialize in fixing is everything. Everything except for your frame, axles, and brakes. And we have a division of people within our network of technicians that do our work for us, subcontracted out. Those are usually within mechanics bays and temperature controlled environments. Those are the areas where you really it's best if it's not worked on outside. But in house, everything from your air conditioning, all of your roof seals, your water heater, your furnace, all of your 120 volt and 12 volt electrical. One of our top selling items from last year that I really loved was the walkthrough get to know your RV package. And within that package, you're allowed up to 4 hours one on one. You write up a list of at least 20 questions that you have about your RV, and we walk through everything. If I'm not able to have an answer on the spot, you and I are going to get the answer within 5 to 10 minutes through my network of customer service outlets. I am a dealer at um, multiple places such as Lippert and Airexcel, and I have certifications with Aquahot. It's important that I know as much as I can, and I put as much available time that I have to into this business. There's going to be a lot of things though I don't know, and just like everybody else, when you don't have an answer, you go find the answer. So it's roof washes and exterior washes of an RV are super important. We took a lot of time last year to get our hands involved with that. We have about $1,000 worth of Ryobi soft bristle and harder bristle brushes. That's all for your getting the tree sap, the mildew, the mold, the dirt that turns into mud, everything that's on your RV roof that is sort of causing them just a gross mess. We take care of all that for you. And then we use a non staining roof wash that allows us to then, once we're done on the roof, we head down, hit it up with a mixture of mothers and chemical guys, concentrated um, soap with wax in the soap, soft brush on the sides of the RV. So that way there you have somebody who's run over the entire top of your RV and around both sides and the front and the back. So not only are you getting everything cleaned, but you're also getting a full report with pictures and videos along the way. So if you happen to have a small tear on your roof, if you happen to have some, you need some lap sealant applied to some of your seals, your vent caps, end cap, front cap, any of that stuff. Having a fresh set of eyes at least once a year is vital to make sure that your RV doesn't start to rot away. And if it's something as simple as a little bit of lap sealant, you know, making sure you have that wash to have that little tiny little hole in the lap sealant where water actually is allowed to get in there. We'll get up there, we'll seal it up tight for you. And then on the way down, we'll get the outside of the rig shiny, sparkly, and bright. Being somebody who's always worked with his hands, taking things apart, putting them back together, fixing, tinkering, this career path has just sort of come natural to me. I hold a CDL Class A in the state of Massachusetts. I have a 2A1C hoisting engineer's license to operate cranes. Done that for a very long time. Plow in the wintertime on the state highways. um, I was let go from my job March of 2025. At that point, I had already hired an RV technician to tear apart my toy hauler RV that I had bought. Every day that he showed up, I got to witness firsthand what an RV technician, certified RV technician, does. And I kept saying, this is great, but I'm paying somebody to do something that I know I can do. The technician and I became really good friends. And that's working on the RV alongside him at times. It kept my mind busy from, where I was sort of lost career wise. And at 45 years old at the time, it's not a very comforting feeling. So, the more I got to work alongside him, I got to hear stories about the NRVTA, the RVTAA, how the entire process worked. And, there were days where he would get frustrated. And because the work that he had in front of him, it was a lot. I had bought an RV for less money, knew that we were going to spend about $10,000 to rip the floors out, but not as on the scale that we ended up doing. And I would tell him at the end of every stressful day, my friend, relax, take a breath. It's all good. Tomorrow is a clean slate. And, there were a lot of stressful days. So that phrase kept coming up quite often. And it was just an easy choice when it was time for me to pick a name for this company. He and I had built friendship, a bond, and it was a no-brainer for me to choose the NRVTA and to choose this as a career path for the rest of my life. No longer answering to a supervisor or a boss I am my own boss. I am motivated every single day that I wake up by the success that we've had this far with this company, the people that I get to work with, the places that I get to go. It's really been life changing. And you know, if you're ever in the Cape Cod area, the New England area, Southern New England, you know, you look up Clean Slate RV, and you're going to get somebody who answers your phone. And if I don't answer your phone, the phone call, I'm with a customer at that moment, and I'm going to get right back to you. It's not going to take me days. It's not going to take me weeks. I'm not going to ignore you. Uh, you know, the high cost of a dealership and the frequency that technicians don't return phone calls is the number one complaint that I've heard from all of my customers this last season here that just passed us. And I'm proud not to be among that pack. I don't take on too much work. I'm able to space out jobs so that way everybody gets addressed, and I'm able to have adequate time to handle everybody's situations. One of the hardest calls that I've gone on was an elderly woman. She had called me to tell me that her neighbor told her to clean out her black tank. She should put a garden hose into the toilet and fill up the toilet as much as you can all the way to the top. And, then you flush it right out. Just open that valve, clean it right out. She forgot to open the valve. And she heard a very, very loud bang. The black tank fell out of the bottom of her RV. I took the call as a black tank repair job. And I show up, and she says that the tank fell, a couple of days ago, and she's really been smelling a lot of the smells. And, if I could get under there and take a look and fix it, no problem. So I climb under the RV and I take a look, and where this black tank was right alongside of a main propane line. And the smell under there was very, very strong. And it smelled like raw sewage, and it smelled like eggs, and it had all of the indicators of just not a fun job. I threw on my Tyvek suit. I threw on my protective glasses. I threw on the gloves that go up to my shoulders almost. Um, and I got to work. And while I was under there, noticing that propane line, it took a major, major cut out of the line. And that propane had been going into her RV for 2 days. Um, Luckily, the seal on the toilet kept a majority of it out. The smell of sewage combined with the ethyl mercaptan in the propane, which gives it that egg smell, it made it difficult to differentiate between the two. She also did not have a working carbon monoxide detector, and her propane detector, the batteries were dead. She's very lucky to be alive. Uh, I'm lucky I was able to get in there, um, square away the propane line, have a completely uninstall that propane line all the way back, install new propane line for her, um, drop test everything. Everything was great, and then reinstall that black tank. That call, I think, out of all of them that I handled last year, really stuck out. It could have had the deadliest of consequences, and it's really a miracle that you know she cooks with her stove or her microwave versus her stove. It's there's so many things that could have gone wrong. Even while I was there on site before I was able to kill the propane, and it's just it's a story that will live with me for a very long time, and why it's important to make sure that your carbon monoxide detector and your propane detector are all up to snuff. Um, you know, as soon as I came out of there after putting the black tank up, I went out to my truck and I grabbed a carbon monoxide detector and a propane detector, and I installed them for free in her into her RV. It was a very sort of it was a very real experience on how badly things could have gotten. Up in the New England area, we are known for a lot of things. The number one most brutal thing would be the pine tree. The pine tree leaves nothing but awful tree sap over all of the tops of our RV roofs. The branches fall down, they cause damage to our seals, to our the membranes of our roof. They damage our slides. Um, It's very important. We focus a lot on our RV roof washes as well as our exterior washes and preventative maintenance. Having your roof inspected once a year is the only thing that will keep your warranty from going null and void. If your warranty company finds out that you have not had a roof inspection and sealant applied, if need be, within 12 months, your warranty is done, shot. It's in the fine print, whether you knew it or you didn't know it. Um, we use a service called Jobber, and within Jobber, once you are a customer with Clean Slate RV, you have your own customer portal that you can access 24/7. You can review estimates, invoices, and you have a picture and video section. So if you ever do, God forbid, have a roof issue where you have water that leaks down, you're able to say, "Oh, hold on a second there, Mr. Insurance Company that wants to deny my claim for the third time in a row. Yes, I did have an inspection done. This is the date. These are the pictures. These are the videos. And if you need to speak to the certified technician who handled this, his name's Phil. He owns Clean Slate RV Repair, and he's happy to answer your phone calls or emails immediately. Uh, you know, Having the certification title is, from one guy to another, it's going to vary on what they're able to do. It's how much time they've invested into becoming an actual technician, title aside. I found it that a lot of my customers found my ability to work with their warranty company or their insurance company on a one-on-one basis through emails, phone calls, all that sort of stuff. That was most beneficial to them. And I'm proud to offer that. It doesn't cost me anything to make a phone call or fire off an email, forward an invoice, forward an inspection report. It's the little things that matter. And we really drive all of those small things home. We make sure that your slides are lubricated up. We make sure that your roof is watertight. We make sure that your hot water is boiling without going overboard. We make that sure that your furnace is nice and toasty for you. My name is Phil Afonso. I'm the owner of Clean Slate RV Repair Services, and we are located in Carver, Massachusetts. If you are ever in between Boston, Providence, or on Cape Cod, we are happy to be your one-stop shop for RV service and repair.